This is 1-1, variables and expressions. So looking at our this example here, 2x plus 4. I just want to point out some of this vocabulary. So the variable is a symbol or letter that represents an unspecified number. So in this case, the x is the variable. A constant is a value that does not change. It's a number by itself, for instance. So the 4 is the constant. So this is a variable expression. This 2x is a variable expression, and the 4 is the constant. The vocab word is not here, but the 2 is also the coefficient of x. The 2 is the number being multiplied to x right before the x, and so that is a coefficient of x. A numerical expression contains only numbers, and an algebraic expression contains variables. Here's some keywords that we'll be using as we translate algebraic expressions. So example 1a, write a verbal expression for the algebraic expression. We could have varying answers for this depending on the vocabulary that we choose from the chart on the previous page. So for instance, 3x squared, well that's like 3 times x squared. So that's one option that I could write, 3 times x squared. I could also write the product of 3 and x squared, or I could write 3 multiplied x to the second power. All of those would work. Okay, example 1b, 5z plus 16. So I could, again, use the vocabulary. So for the 5z, that represents multiplication. So I could say 5 times z, and then plus. So if I look up under addition, I could use more than, some, plus, increased by, etc. So I'm going to say 5 times z increased by 16. Some other options are the product of 5 and z plus 16, or the sum of 5 times z and 16. Okay, example 1c, 1/2 a plus 6b over 7. So again, I'm looking to see the 1/2 a is multiplication, so I could say 1/2 times a. And then something for the plus, I could say increased by again. Increased by 6 times b divided by 7. I could say 1 divided by 2 multiplied by a added to the quotient of 6 times b and 7. I could say the quotient of 1 and 2 times a increased by 6 times b divided by 7. Okay, now the reverse of that. Example 2, we're going to write an algebraic expression for each verbal expression. So a number t more than 6. So that would be 6 plus t. A number more than 6, or added to 6, or you could do t plus 6. More than is a word for addition. 10 less than, well, less than is subtraction, and product means to multiply, so subtraction and multiply. 10 less than the product of 7 and f. Since it's less than the product of 7 and f, it would really be minus 10. So the product, 7f, that represents multiplication. So 7f minus 10. I tend to reverse the terms whenever it's more than or less than. If you think about it, these are going to be reversed terms. The direction. So 10 did not come first. It came second in that case. Okay, 2/3 of the volume v. Well, the word of represents multiplication. So 2/3 of v times v. Okay, example 3. Evaluate each algebraic expression, I should say, for x equals 6, y equals 9, and z equals 2. So evaluate each expression means plug that number in and simplify. So instead of x, I'm going to have 6. Instead of y, I'm going to have 9. And then 6 plus 9 is 15. Notice the problem did not start with an equal sign, and so I'm not going to add one in because it's really an expression. Should not have an equal sign. Okay, x over z, that would be 6 over 2. Well, 6 over 2 is 3. Okay, example 4. Mr. Martinez orders 250 keychains printed with his team's logo and 500 pencils printed with their web address. Write an algebraic expression that represents the cost of the order. Well, I'm going to use K for keychains and P for pencils. So those are the variables I'm going to define. Gathering my information, there were 250 keychains, 250K, and there were 500 pencils, 500P. And now write an algebraic expression. Well, for the total cost would be those things added together. So 250K plus 500P is my algebraic expression. Again, no equal sign because it's an expression. All right, and Katie estimates that 1/8 of the people that order beverages also order pastries. Write an algebraic expression to represent that situation. So let's see, my beverages will be B, my pastries will be P. All right, and that's 1/8 of the people order beverages. So 1/8 beverages plus, because of the and, pastries. Try the independent practice on your own, and we will check this against the completed notes to see how you did.